Securing affordable housing remains one of the largest hurdles to many local families looking to make a life here in the islands. But progress is being made. Recent affordable housing complexes in Kailua, Chinatown, Makiki, and just now a senior complex in Aiea are part of a push to get more inventory available. Joining us now to talk story, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi. Aloha and good morning, Mayor.
Hello, Sam. Good morning and congratulations. Good to see you on the show.
Thank you so much. Great to have you this morning. That's about 250 units altogether. What are some of the progresses that are being made with the City and County of Honolulu?
Well, we're making a lot of progress there. And as you said, the crisis is there, if you will. The need is there. We know that. We've known it. Creating housing is a very complicated endeavor. And it's taken us a while, but I'm really proud of our team, what we've put together. You know, this project yesterday that we announced for senior affordable housing in Aiea was years in the making. It goes back to some 20 years. And a year ago in August, we were out there and announced that we were going to be distributing nearly $30 million in affordable housing funds. That is a proceed from the city is awarded 0.5% from property tax value. So that's about $7 to $8 million a year. And there was an accumulated amount of some 30 to 40 million. And so we earmarked this project, and here we were yesterday at the groundbreaking. It's actually the second one in Aiea. One of the things that we made known last summer when we made that announcement was we were going to spread it around. So yes, we're really excited about that. The other one was 400 units. So look, I will tell you right now and go on record, we think that between now and when we leave office, and this may sound presumptuous, by the end of 28, we'll have created 18,000 units. And this is just the beginning. It's taken a while. You know, the first half of our term, we've been in for less than 3 years, was pretty much preoccupied with COVID. And during that time, one of the things that we did do for housing while we were figuring out how to get this done, and I want to come back to that in a second, was the work we did in affordable and rental utility relief. We kept almost 20,000 families in their houses, distributing over $300 million. That was a big project in itself, in learning how to do that. That was unprecedented for the city. What we've learned about housing, it takes a lot of collaboration. Yesterday's project, was a lot of announcements, collaboration with the state, EAH, the developer, Bank of Hawaii. It's just not a simple thing to do. But what I'm excited about is I think we've figured it out. We've got the team in place. I could cite all of them. I'm really proud of the men and women, but it's not just one department. It takes a lot of departments within the city and then the people we work with outside. So that's our goal, is to set up a template and a model and to continue to do this thing, to roll it out. We're not shy about saying what we're going to get done. And hopefully it's that kind of a contribution to the city where, the city is, to where we live, that the city is an active player in creating housing. It was pretty ambiguous in the beginning, to be very honest with you. This project was years in the making. Bringing it to fruition, very rewarding.
18,000 units is a massive goal. Yeah. It's difficult.
Why would you make a small goal?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
As you said, it's a difficult process. What are some of the complications with that, especially in regards to regulation?
Yeah, there are a lot of regulations. You've got to be able to figure that out. Beyond just the stuff that we face in planning and permitting and codes and all of that other stuff. But look, the biggest thing is to have that kind of understanding. It has a language all to itself, and so being able to navigate through that, we needed the help from the city council as well on what we're doing. It's just not an easy process, but we have people now in place. You're a great athlete, former great athlete. I watched you play for many years. You need to have the coaching staff in order to get it done. And that was one of the things that really hit me coming in, is we didn't have that. We didn't have people with the kinds of expertise who could understand how to navigate through this. We don't have enough time this morning to talk about that, except I will say it's complicated. Requires high degree of collaboration. One of the things that we said the night that Governor Green was elected was that people could expect unprecedented collaboration between the city and state. We're actually a little bit behind over what just happened in Maui, obviously. We took our first meeting with the governor earlier this week, after the first time in over 2 months, on homeless, if you will. But I think the combination of city and state working together with private developers, with financial institutions, with the resources we have available to us, like an affordable housing fund, the fact that we got the city back in the private activity bond business, had not been there for over 25 years. We made our first award to 2 big rehab projects, $135 million. Things like this we're pulling together. And again, it's to really kind of set the momentum of what we're going to do. And I think when all gets said and done, that would be the kind of thing that the city can continue to do. But yesterday's project is especially meaningful because this is Aiea. This is senior affordable housing at 60%, 50%, and 30%. That's as low as it gets as far as earning income. But if one is sensitive to Kupuna and their vulnerability and their aging in a neighborhood like Aiea, this is just a very glorious project.
Real quick, one of the things that you have to collaborate with is the community members where these projects are being developed. Sometimes you run into not in my backyard, the NIMBYism. What's your message to residents about how important it is to get these developments done?
Well, it's real important. And actually, you know, we've heard a lot about that, but if the projects are planned well and done well and presented correctly, look, we're about to do something in Kailua that hasn't been done, 42 units, you know, and we bought that from a developer who lost the money. We've had no pushback. I think, you know, it's being sensitive and smart about communities. The NIMBYism hasn't come up. I think people realize we are all one big family on this island. They realize the incredible need we have for housing. What people don't want is people leaving here, especially our young people. So this goes across all demographic groups. When we can do things that really help our Kupuna and other hardworking people who are younger, who are looking, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, who need a roof over their head to take care of themselves and their families, and you can create that, most people are very open-minded about that and very welcoming to it.
An incredibly important issue. Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi, thank you for joining us this morning, and best of luck in tackling affordable housing.
Thank you, Sam. I'm sorry, it's such a complicated topic, but I would tell you I'm very proud of our team and very grateful for this challenge that we're taking on. It's very meaningful.
All right. Thank you, Mayor.